r/AskReddit by Redmond Dts. What is the worst way someone's asked you to leave after sex? While dozing off, he gently tapped my shoulder and said, "Maribel, you can't stay here. My name is not Maribel. Go grab some Taco Bell. You can eat it on your way home. My roommate's almost home, so you should leave unless you want to screw him too." I made the comment afterwards that I was surprised that she didn't want me to wear a condom. We were in our early 30s. Her response was, "My husband won't give me another child, so I'm hoping to get pregnant without him." When I told her that I had had a vasectomy 10 years earlier, she told me to leave. Me and my now ex-husband were separated but were trying to go on dates with each other still, and I thought we were working through some things. I went to his place and we hooked up. Afterwards I was sitting on his couch asking him if he wanted to catch a movie or something when he opened his front door and actually made this sweeping gesture with his arm and said, "You need to go. I have a date." So yeah, that made me finally realize it was time to file the divorce papers. He was at my house, so he was the one leaving. 5 minutes of 6, he came. I thought he was going to finish me off. Nope. He gets up, starts putting his clothes on, and says, after a yawn, "Well, I don't mean to skeet and yeet, but I better get home." Excuse me? An old friend invited me over for her famous beef stew. I got there, we fool around, had sex. Then right after she handed me a Tupperware of the stew and said, "You got sex and stew, now please leave." Still not sure if that's the worst way I was kicked out or the best. How was the stew though? The stew was better than the sex, to be honest. A girl I was friends with benefits with rolled over while still naked, farted in my direction, and told me to lock the front door on my way out. Post-coitus, he stood up, lit a cigarette, and said, "I don't really think this is gonna work out." We were good friends for a few years before hooking up after a night of drinking. Halfway through sex he told me he can't actually do this because he wanted to get back with his ex and can't mess it up because she's the hottest girl he'll ever be with. He lived in the middle of nowhere and I couldn't leave until the morning, so he made me sleep on the couch. I have a friend who screwed a mom he met at the skate park, and when they were done she heard the garage open, so she hurried up and dressed him and put him in front of the computer. The husband comes in and the wife says, "Honey, this young man was just fixing our computer." The husband says, "Oh, thanks bud." Hands my friend $50 while he was still sweaty from screwing this dude's wife. He left very shortly after. We were dry humping, fully clothed, no hand stuff, and he came. After a couple seconds he asked me to leave cause he was tired. Then he walked me to the door with his cup hands. Post-sesh, I lean over and see a photograph of the young lady and a man in military uniform on the nightstand. Me. "Oh, who is that? Your brother?" "No, that's my boyfriend. He'll be home tomorrow." Dressed and gone. "I'm sorry, but you'll have to catch a bus or something cause I've got work in the morning, so I can't drop you off." The distance from the bar to her place was about 45 minutes. We went in her car. She told me this at about 1 in the morning, basically in the middle of freaking nowhere. Longest walk home ever, for very Essex. Asked me to stay and cuddle her until she falls asleep, then leave because she didn't want me sleeping there. It was like 3 AM. His crazy ex came banging his door screaming she knew he had somebody in there and that she was gonna kill me. Not him? This dude was panicking and told me the only way out is through the window. I packed my stuff real quick and jumped from a window 2 meters above ground and trespassed like 5 backyards and fences until I made it to Main Street, while FaceTiming a friend cause it was funny and super scary, haha. Can you leave before my next one comes in? During sex actually. Are you going to be much longer? Because CSI is about to come on. Her kids started banging on the door and I hid in the closet until it was clear to go. Middle of an orgy, 5 people in total. One gent stood up, punched a nearby dresser, and said, "This was a mistake, everyone get out." We all gathered our clothes in the dark and shuffled out. At the time I thought it was hilarious. We got bagels. Son the gent. Afterwards. Would recommend after every orgy. This didn't happen to me, male, but a friend, female, told me about the time she went over to someone's house for a booty call. His parents ended up coming home early, so he opened his window, picked her and her clothes up and tossed her and her clothes straight out of the window. I knew I shouldn't have laughed at her. But I knew an electrician that put her exit sign above his bedroom door and would flip the switch to turn it on after sex. She just started crying and would not stop. It was the night I lost my virginity. After having sex with a brilliant, beautiful, absolutely filthy woman, her husband asked me to leave by shooting at me. This was the morning after, but one guy asked me to take out his trash on my way out. I have a magic shower here. I get in it, and when I come out, you're gone. That's all folks. Thank you for watching. If you like videos like this one, why not like and subscribe for more? Have a nice evening.